If you think you plateau, just push yourself harder. And some cinnamon, raisins, stuff like that. Yeah, a little peanut butter. Put like a spoonful of peanut butter in it and then some oatmeal.
I feel like we're on a radio talk show or something. This is fun.
First thing is, yeah, everybody wants them and they're very hard to get.
Time out real quick. Hi everybody.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in for this video. As you can see, Tyler's with us for this one because this video is more Tyler's area of expertise than mine. We're kind of focusing on diet and fitness for this week's Facebook forum. And basically what that is, if you hadn't seen my last video, I just put out a question on my Beauty Broadcast Facebook page. That's facebook.com/beautybroadcast. And just ask for your questions, and then basically we're going to try to get through as many as we can right here.
Got lots of good questions.
And a big variety, too, on diet and fitness. And then I think whatever Tyler can't get to in this video, he's going to try to get most of those answered on his blog, right?
Right.
Alright, so we'll put a link to that in the sidebar as well. So I'm going to kind of just feed Tyler the questions and we'll try to get through as many as we can, alright? Alright, the first one is from Susan. She says, I get really hungry right before bedtime. What are some tips or low-fat snacks that you recommend for nighttime hungries?
Actually, I wouldn't be as concerned with low-fat that late at night. I'd be more worried about not eating any kind of carbs because that's going to get more converted quickly into fat that you might store actually while you're sleeping. So something with fat actually would be good because that kind of slows down the digestive process, and so your body's being fed more throughout the night if you have something with some fat in it. So what I would recommend is like some peanut butter maybe, or I'll usually have some peanut butter with some milk before bed, but any kind of meat would be good.
What about like a cheese stick, string cheese kind?
Dairy's a really good thing to have right before bed, but just I would avoid all carbs if you can.
And we should also probably tell people, Tyler, how do you know what you know?
I have no degree or certification or anything like that. I just do a lot of reading and research on this kind of stuff, so everything I'm telling you is coming from articles I've read and stuff like that.
He's a college athlete.
Yeah.
He played 4 years of college football, so the interest probably kind of started there, and he's just kind of kept it up ever since college. Yeah. Some people kind of get out of school and they let it go, but it's kind of stuck with Tyler. So, the next question is from Laura. She says, I know this isn't exactly for Tyler, but maybe Emily can help answer. What are some good ways to lose weight and retain your curves as well? Do you think all liquid/juice diets work? I guess from my perspective on this, I guess if you want to retain some of your curves, then you're not going to starve yourself, number one, and you're not going to probably be on a crazy workout regimen, but I feel like sometimes those like dance workouts are good because they're not necessarily drastically changing the composition of your body, but they are helping you tone up in some places.
Right, and a lot of the weight you're going to lose isn't going to be from the places that you think of as the curve areas. Just genetically, women tend to store fat in certain places that...
Oh, that's a good point.
So if you're losing weight, a lot of that's going to come from places other than what you would get your curves from. And as far as the juice diet, liquid diet, I would avoid that completely. Anything that's going to be a diet that kind of promises quick results and it's drastic and something like that is going to, you might lose some weight pretty quickly, but a lot of that's not even going to be fat. A lot of that's going to be just water weight and things like that. And then once you drop a certain amount of weight, you're going to just put it right back on right away, and you're going to be pretty frustrated. So what I would recommend is to just find out. You can just get on the internet and search for something to estimate your calorie needs for a day. There are tons of websites out there for that. And then just subtract about 500 calories a day from what you need. And that's going to make you lose about a pound a week. And that's a good number. Huh. And if you want to go more drastic than that, I would say 1,000 calories a day. That's going to give you 2 pounds a week. But anything more than 2 pounds a week, you're probably not losing fat like you want to. You're going to be tapping into either muscle mass or water weight, which is water weight just comes right back on as soon as you get back to normal.
So as much as you want to lose weight quickly, you need to look at the long term a little bit more.
Quick fixes never really work.
Andrea says, with 2 little boys, I seem to never have time to work out. Do you have any tips for sneaking in a workout with a busy schedule? Like maybe things you could do at home, I would say. What are some like in-home exercises?
What I would do is actually just get on YouTube, which I'm pretty sure all of you guys are familiar with since you're watching this on YouTube, and just search for search for complexes, and like either with if you have access to weights, there's all kinds of different ways you can do them, or if you don't, there's something called a kettlebell.
It's like the ball with the little handle.
Yeah, it's got a little handle on it, and if you search for kettlebell complexes, there's tons of stuff on YouTube for that, and you can get those workouts in like 15 minutes, and you're going to be sweating and burning calories.
Are we talking like squats and lunges and things like holding the ball?
And it'll be all right in a row. They're a great workout and fast, less than a half an hour, and you're going to be getting a lot of benefits from it.
What if, just to throw it out there, what if, say, you don't even have a half hour? What if some people are like, and I know maybe we all should try to ideally have at least half an hour, but what if you just have 10 minutes? Is there anything effective you can do in 10 minutes for a workout?
The same thing, you can do that for 10 minutes, and you're going to be... You can go pretty hard and get quite a bit done in 10 minutes.
Better off than if you didn't do it at all,
Absolutely.
Right? All right, next question. Veronica says, I'm a runner and get shin splints quite often. What are good stretches or exercise moves to prevent this type of injury?
As far as stretching, it's kind of hard, I guess, to explain without showing. But what I do to stretch my calves and lower legs out is I'll go up to a wall and point your toe up against the wall and then just lean into it and feel like nice slow stretch.
Stretch in the back of your...
It'll get your calves and then it'll get the front too, the front muscles in your lower leg that go over, which is kind of where shin splints come from. And then also just like a quad stretch where you just pull your leg up back behind, grab your toe and then pull it up towards in the back.
I like how you're trying to do it.
It's hard just with just my upper body on camera, but I think you can kind of get what I'm saying there. Also, I do what's called foam rolling. I don't know. That's another thing you can just search.
Foam roll.
You can just search on YouTube for that. You can buy one of those for like, I don't know, $15 to $20.
Sporting goods stores.
Yeah,
or something
any sporting goods store is
going to be about
one.
Yay long.
And that's another thing. Just get on YouTube and search for that, because that's what I did to find out how to do that. And just search foam rolling, and you'll see tons of different ways to do it. And basically every video I've seen is almost exactly the same. They do pretty much the same stuff, and that's really good for stretching out your muscles and keeping your muscles in good shape.
All right, Melissa says, I have Melissa, I have a bad back and need advice on maintaining a strong back without blowing it out while I'm working out. I just got over a very bad muscle problem and was in horrible pain for a week. What can you tell her?
I know that a lot of back issues can be made worse by having weak abs, actually, or having some problems with your abs.
I've heard about kind of you got to balance your strength, right?
I would suggest doing some core exercises and just do what you can without causing yourself pain in your back with the problems you already have. Also, I'd recommend doing kind of a lot of, if you do lift weights, do it like from a standing position or something like that. It really works your stabilizing muscles to do that. So if you can do anything standing up, pretty much anything, any lift you're doing, try to do it either standing up or something like that, and that'll help that. But just don't push it too hard, because then you wind up destroying what progress you have made. So
strengthening your abs is going to help your back. That's interesting. Our next question is coming from Elise, and I feel like we're on a radio talk show or something. This is fun. What do you suggest to do to overcome a weight loss plateau? This is a great question.
Okay, it is. And it's kind of complicated because it depends on your specific situation. But the first thing I'd advise is don't be locked in and looking at the scale for your progress, because a lot of times you could be just putting on a little bit of extra muscle mass, and that's going to keep your weight stagnant, but you might still be losing fat like you want to.
I've noticed that before a lot.
one thing of advice I'd have is to weigh yourself really infrequently, because if you start doing it every day, weight is messed up because you might just be more hydrated that day, so it might be all water weight. You might be making really good progress, but you
might be really toning up, but that muscle is weighing more than fat.
That's going to weigh more, and so you might be losing fat, and you might just have drank a lot more that day. So, I mean, you can easily put on a pound of water just by drinking a decent amount. So, be careful how much you watch your actual weight. A good judge is actually like how your clothes are fitting, and
like how your jeans, how a pair of jeans fits is a really good gauge.
Anyway, if your progress has plateaued though, I would suggest really looking at what you're eating and try to track your calories for a while. It gets really tedious to do that all the time, but I find that if I'm in an area where I'm not making progress, if you go back and just write down everything you're eating for a day.
Carrie Underwood does that, by the way, ladies.
There's a lot of programs on the internet. Just search for calorie counters, and they're free. You just sign up and get a username and stuff, and they'll add everything up for you, and it's really easy. So just do that for a couple of days, and you'll see that maybe you're eating more than you thought you were. Or you're eating the wrong things, and that's a good way to do it. And other than that, just if you think you plateaued, just push yourself harder.
In the long term too, I know we mentioned the calorie counting websites, and that's good for knowing exactly how much you're taking in, but it's kind of hard to keep that up, especially if you're eating out and trying to do things like that. So even if you just have a hard time keeping track, a little notepad in your purse and a pen, and just kind of jot down what you've eaten, and then you'll kind of remind yourself, oh, I did have that snack at 2:30 in the afternoon. Next question. I seem to have a craving for bad carbs. What foods can help me kick that craving and not undo all the hard work I put in at the gym? And that's from Robin. And first, can you tell us what she probably means by bad carbs? Because I'm not totally sure what that is.
Are going to be anything that's got like a processed flour in it or has sugar in it. So you look at the label, and if it says enriched wheat flour or enriched something flour, that's bad. If that's like in your top 5 ingredients, that would be something that has bad carbs in it, and I would avoid it as best you can. But first off, I'd say to keep on your progress and keep yourself sane when you're trying to eat healthy, every once in a while you got to have a meal or a day where you just do eat stuff that you shouldn't eat.
Or just what you're craving.
Right, because otherwise it's going to just be hard to stick with at all.
I've had problems with that before, with like you want something so bad and you eat more of other things just because you're not satisfied. So you got to satisfy yourself.
Also, a thing you can do, if you got to have those bad things, either eat them before or after your workout, especially if you're doing some kind of weight training, because at that point your muscles and your body really need those nutrients, so they're going to soak them up and use them to rebuild muscle and things like that, instead of storing them as fat. But I guess we still haven't answered her question. She wants things that
what foods can help her kick the bad carb craving?
One thing I would say is oatmeal. You can kind of doctor that up a little bit, put some Splenda or some honey in it, and some cinnamon, raisins, stuff like that. Yeah, a little peanut butter. And that's really good for kind of tastes like it's not healthy, but it still is. Another thing I do for kind of like an ice cream craving is get some ice cream, put like a spoonful of peanut butter in it, and then some oatmeal. That's pretty good. It tastes kind of like a peanut butter cookie with ice cream on it, and it's not too bad for you.
Tyler loves the peanut butter.
I do. I think that's the third peanut butter mention.
How many times did peanut butter get mentioned here? Go. Okay, we're kind of running short on time.
Okay. How do you keep yourself motivated?
How do you can you keep yourself motivated, and then maybe we can talk about just in general busting belly fat, like keeping your abs strong, because that was asked quite a bit, several questions down. So motivation. Listen to Tyler.
Right. The number one thing I can say is if you get yourself into a routine where you're actually exercising on a regular basis, it actually becomes harder to break it than you would think. You get to the point where if if you're doing it regularly, if you miss a workout, you don't feel as good that day, and you start to kind of feel guilty. And so that keeps
That's
me
a point I need to get to, because I can be
Right.
kind of inconsistent with work. I mean, busy lifestyles. That's often an excuse.
Right.
I mean, it's an excuse for me. It's an excuse for a lot of people. It's like, you know, that's what I have to do. And working out is not always considered like a have to do thing.
Right.
But you just got to make it a priority.
I would go out, maybe buy yourself something new to work out in. Like if it's in the budget, I guess. Get a couple of new.
Like what, Tyler?
A couple new workout outfits, maybe a new pair of shoes, something like that.
An awesome tank top?
Right, and you'd be surprised at how much more you might be motivated to go work out with that. Also, maybe I've heard of people just something as simple as downloading some new music and
That's a good thought.
going.
It's the little things. It's
Right.
the little things that keep you wanting to
And
do
just
it.
remind yourself of why you're doing this. Is it because you want to look good? Is it because you want to be healthy and be able to play with your grandkids when you grow up? You know, it's just gotta frequently remind yourself why you're doing it, and that keeps me motivated. We're gonna sum it up on how to get abs, and first thing is, everybody wants them, and they're very hard to get. Number one thing for getting abs is nutrition. Big time nutrition. If you're not eating well, you're never gonna get them, no matter how hard you work out, unless you're Michael Phelps and swimming 8 to 9 hours a day.
We talked about this while eating
Right.
at Denny's today.
It's just you just got to lose fat. I mean, you could have abs without even doing crunches, because everybody's just got those muscles there. It's just all about losing the fat that's covering them up.
Is cardio a big thing?
Cardio is big. I would rank it in. If you want to get abs, what you got to do: number 1, get your nutrition locked in. Number 2, do some weight training. And number 3, make sure you're doing some cardio. And 4th on the list of getting abs is actually doing ab exercises. You can do very minimal ab exercises and still have a six-pack if you have really good nutrition and you are doing some cardio.
All right. Fist bump to 6-packs.
Boom.
Boom. Blow it up. All right.
And
Thanks.
I'm going to do my best to answer the rest of these questions. There were, I think, 37. I'm sure some of them are overlapping.
And then there's probably going to be more.
But she'll link it to my blog, and we'll see what we can do. So if you didn't get your question answered, I will try.
And check back a little later, because it'll take some time to answer all those for
will.
sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these segments. I'm trying to make it a weekly thing where I kind of create a category for you on Facebook to comment on and ask questions about. And I'll try to answer them, or we'll come up with some more things for Tyler to talk about too. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night. Great day. Bye.